Greetings, boys and girls. And it's the grumpy old man. And hopefully, take 5. We won't have double speak. Although I signed out of that streaming software, let me tell you, because with the double speak, you won't be able to understand. I've been getting notifications from YouTube that I need to go to streaming software. And they give a whole shitload of suggestions, and I ended up downloading a bunch of them and then uninstalling them because they were just a pain in the ass. My highest regards go out to all these people that use this streaming software because I can't understand it. So I literally, Googled software for dummies. And it came up with this Prism Studio Live. So before I downloaded it, I watched a tutorial. Now, this guy made this look like, a brand newborn could use this software within 30 seconds. So I downloaded it, I installed it, and then on this computer over here, I went through the tutorial step by step. And he gave all the basic settings. He said, for beginners, here's what you got to do. So I would start and stop and start and stop and start, because as I'm listening to what he had to say, I'm going in and I'm doing all the settings that the tutorial said to do. I would no sooner finish a stream, go in and check it, and there was a delay. It was like a 2-second delay. I would say something, and then 2 seconds later, it was like a long echo in the background. So I went in, and, I kept adjusting and adjusting. I got up to sound check number 4. And finally, I said, screw it. I exited out of all of the software, went back to tried and true. And until I figure it out, I'm going to continue with tried and true. The other software was neat because it had some really great backgrounds that I didn't have to green screen. There's one, anybody that's following the mess that I just put up, I'm out in space. And I went through and I clicked on, in one of the tests, I clicked the different ones. And I mean, the backgrounds are wonderful. But until I can understand where this delay is, I can't use that software. I had to go in, I just had to log out and exit out of everything and just go back to YouTube studio. And when I've got some more patience, I'll try it again. Because I really, and I mean, the special effects that are built in supposedly for dummies were outstanding. Now, as you saw in the title, Inconsiderate People. Well, I'll tell you what. I have some that I really have to put up with. And one is my neighbor. Now, yeah, I like the guy. Plus, he owns a towing company. So I really have to like him because, I'm driving two junkers that could fall on their face at any minute. Well, between him and his crew, they all rotate who's on call. Well, last night, he was on call. And I mean, the tow truck he drives home isn't some little dinky dipshit machine. He's got this big semi flatbed that he brings home, and he backs in the driveway, and basically when he stops, the cab is about 10 feet from my bedroom window. Now, the new semis are quieter than what they used to be, but they're still irritating as hell because, of course, he doesn't want to come out and get into a cold truck. So he's got a remote starter on it. And at 4:00 this morning, he fires up because he's got a call to go on. Well, I know what he's doing. He's warming up the truck while he's getting dressed. And this thing sits. And I went through the same thing last winter. It sits anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes idling outside my bedroom window. Now, who the hell can sleep with a goddamn semi idling next door to you? Like I say, about 10 feet away. So he finally leaves. And I finally start to doze off. And evidently it might have been a jump start or a gasoline call because about half an hour later, he was home. And all these goddamn trucks have these backup alarms. So when he goes to back in the driveway, and of course, there it is. I'm up again. And I mentioned to him, I said, it would not be that hard to run a kill switch to that backup alarm so that when you back into the driveway, you can shut it off and back in semi quietly. I even told him how to do it. Very simple. You pull the fuse and you put in a fuse tap, which is a line that plugs into the fuse box. It has a fuse in it. And then it's got a plug on the other end that you could plug in the other side of the, it's like a jumper. And he says you plug it into the one side of the fuse box, run it through an on-off switch, and then back to the other terminal in the fuse box. And I just, put a little LED indicator light so that when you shut the backup alarm off, the little indicator light would come. I even offered to wire it for him. He goes, we'll take care of it. Well, here I am going on year 2, having to put up with and then the idling truck. And if that isn't bad enough, I'm living with one. This morning at 3:00 in the morning, I'm hearing sounds that would be coming from like Area 51. All kinds of weird sound effects. Now, unfortunately, I've got a raccoon living in the attic that we've been trying to get rid of. And I don't know whether he's Googling this goofy ass information, but sound effects are not going to get rid of this goofy raccoon. And he acts like, this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex raccoon, like it's going to, dig through the wall and go for his throat. And if if it isn't the sound effects, he's beating on the wall and stomping on the floor. Well, they're not going to run out of the house. It's just going to move to another location. And unfortunately, here's the problem you run into. This is a wild animal, okay? So I called Ohio Department of Natural Resources because you can't kill the damn things. And I wouldn't want to. I just wanted to move on. And I can't board the hole up because I might have it trapped in the frickin' house. I don't want it to die in the rafters. So I call the Department of Natural Resources. They won't come out and live trap it. Because what they have to go through, he says, you have to like sterilize the live trap. And then you gotta put on a hazmat suit and gloves because if they smell any human scent on the live trap, they won't go near it. And another thing is, I said, well, let's put some food in the back of the damn live trap. No, they go out and forage. Once they get in the attic, they don't eat. So you can't put food in a live trap. So I says, how am I going to get this goddamn thing out of the house? And I think there's 2 of them now. Well, in order to get it out of the house, I have to, first of all, I would have to hire a private exterminator. Now, he wouldn't exterminate it, but he would have to smoke bomb it. So and then I would have to call the fire department because basically he would start a smoke machine in the frickin' rafters to drive it out of the house. And then wherever it's getting in, and I think unfortunately there's 2 spots, you have to have people watching at a distance because if they see you, they won't come out. And then when they come out, you've got to quickly throw a ladder up and board up the hole. You know, it's not like, say you get a cat up there. You put some food in the live trap, it goes in the live trap, you take it, you call a rescue shelter. Nope. The guy from ODNR told me that basically you're dealing with an animal that's almost as smart as a goddamn human. But in the meantime, when these things start rustling around in the rafters, I've got Frankenstein up there beating on the walls, or I've got an alien from Area 51 playing all kinds of weird ass sound effects. And people wonder why I'm grumpy. Never a dull fucking moment. Now, what is this? I'm getting a notification from YouTube. You can now put people in timeout for different lengths, ranging from 10 seconds to 24 hours. Well, YouTube, your message just went in timeout because I don't have the chat turned on. As a matter of fact, how do I get rid of the? I got a chat box and I'm not even. Well, that's wonderful. How do I close the chat box? I don't have live chat on. I can't get the chat box to close. Pop out chat. Pop out chat. Oops. Not pop out chat. Restore chat. No, we don't want. We want to close chat. Oh, isn't that just ducky? See, there's always something here to piss me off. I can't get rid of it. Good thing it's on the side of the goddamn screen. Abide by community rules. I'm abiding by community rules. I want to close out the chat box. Won't let me. Won't let me close the chat box. That's all right. It's not in my way anyway. Hopefully, I have the problem solved. Well, like I say, I just closed out all that software, and tomorrow I'll have to try it again. I think I had it set up where it was broadcasting both. It was streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and I was watching, and down at the bottom of the screen there was a delay between the two. And I shut off Facebook, and then I screwed up and I shut the damn volume off, and I was getting no audio out of the microphone. So it's been a really trying day today. The software for dummies stumped this dummy. So with that, we're going to end this stream, and we're going to check and see if we've got normal volume, normal audio. The latency, I had a delay too. I see the delay went away, so I cured one problem. But for now, that I really like that software, especially with the one where I was, streaming from space. But until we get all the bugs worked out, we'll just stick with old tried and true here. And with that, I'm going to end the stream. And I'll tell you what, I wish I could have a nice tall Bloody Mary, but I can't touch alcoholic beverages. So with that, boys and girls, the grumpy old man is going to go and sign off grumpier than he was before. And with that, see you bye.